Hi and welcome everyone to another video on this channel. Today we're gonna take a look at some of the best teams and players to target for the next game weeks. Also we're gonna talk a little bit about what happened in Game Week 31, and as usual, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider giving a like and subscribe to this channel. But now let's get into it. Okay, so firstly I just wanted to talk a little bit about how my team did in Game Week 31 till now. Now if you want to, you can skip to the part when I talk about the best players to target for double gaming 32 and the future gamings. Now, Manchester City, Manchester United just ended nil-nil. Now there is still one game to go in this game week. Tomorrow, Newcastle, Leicester. But at the moment, I don't know how, but I'm still on a green arrow from 6.2k to 5.8k, as you can see. So really happy with that. Now, if we're taking a look about what happened in this game week, it was a pretty crazy game week, right? The first game, Everton Arsenal, Saka was benched. Uh, Arsenal conceded obviously from a penalty, which pretty much wasn't a penalty, right? So yeah, you can call it unlucky. You can call that Arsenal didn't defend that better without Gabriel or something like that. I just think that it's a little bit of both. Now I had just Raya, so yeah, really unlucky for those who gone for Saliba instead of Gabriel, who have double Arsenal defense because they conceded. But yeah, Raya with just 2 points. Then Crystal Palace, Munoz scored thankfully, and Mateta scored also. Now Sar a little bit disappointed with him. I always said that if you had the cash, I think that Eze is the best option here. But yeah, Sar in the last two games was pretty bad, but we go forward. Now my biggest disappointment maybe is my captaincy armband was on Mohamed Salah. I just tried to be safe, and definitely I said that I knew before that Fulham away is not an easy fixture, obviously, and Salah could score against anyone in his day, but at the moment he's just really not informed. He was really bad today, so little chances created from him. Now Liverpool in general were really bad today, but yeah, it is what it is. Now we need to see what's gonna happen. Palmer also blanked. He was benched for Chelsea. Now I really didn't expect for Palmer to be benched. Hopefully he's gonna get that Ipswich fixture, but after that he's gonna be sold to someone like Saka. But yeah, what I want to say is that not so many players scored big amount of points. As you can see, some captaincy options: Salah, Palmer, Marmoush, all of them blanked. Now there is the other one, Isak. I really wanted to captain him, but last minute I switched to Mohamed Salah on my deadline stream because of the doubt, because I wanted to be stress free for the weekend, not thinking about if Isak is gonna start or not tomorrow. But yeah, good luck to everyone who has Isak captain for this game week. Hopefully for you is gonna be okay. Now at the moment, Guardiol, really happy with him. He really saved my game week at the moment. He got a clean sheet and 3 bonus points currently. We need to see if that's gonna stand till tomorrow. But yeah, really happy with Guardiol. I have still Livramento and Murphy, some players who can help me retain my green arrow. Now we're gonna see what's gonna happen tomorrow. As you can see, luckily this game week I didn't have to relay on my bench because as you can see, Martinez with 1 point, Savinho didn't play at all, Konate 1 point, and Gabriel obviously it's injured. Now let's see who are the best teams to target and players to buy ahead of double game week 32. Okay, so firstly we're gonna be obviously talking a little bit more about these teams who are gonna double in game week 32 firstly, which are Crystal Palace and Newcastle. Now Crystal Palace are gonna double also in game week 33, so it doesn't really matter which strategy you are on, which players you have currently in your team. I think that you should have some players from these teams um, planned, or at least try to buy them in the next game weeks. Now the doubles for Crystal Palace, as I talked before in my other videos, are not ideal. In 32, Man City away, Newcastle away, I don't see any clean sheets honestly for Crystal Palace. In 33, they're gonna play Bournemouth at home, which is a decent fixture. It's not great. Bournemouth are not really playing so well at the moment, so that's an okay fixture. But Arsenal away, it's really bad. Now we need to see um, what's gonna happen with Arsenal. Also, they have so many injuries, and yeah, Crystal Palace are gonna blank also in gaming 34. So it really depends which chip strategy you are on, because for example, for my team, I'm gonna use my free in gaming 34. So I just wanna stack with double gaming players for gaming 33, and then free it them out in gaming 34. If you don't want to use your free in gaming 34, it's not going to be so easy to navigate. You need to have a balance of players who are going to double and of players who are going to play in gaming 34. But if you still have your free left, I think that the best strategy at the moment, honestly, is to use it in gaming 34 and have as many doubles as possible in gaming 33. Now, Newcastle, for Newcastle, the fixtures are a little bit better. Manchester United at home and Crystal Palace at home. We're gonna talk in a minute about the captaincy options and the triple captain for anyone who still has that chip left, because it's gonna be a really nice opportunity to use it in gaming 32. Aston Villa away, Ipswich at home, and Brighton away. It's a nice fixture. Now, obviously, Newcastle are gonna play Ipswich at home. They are not gonna blank in game week 34, but yeah, if you're gonna use your free, what you can do here is in game week 33 to sell some Newcastle players to some Aston Villa players, or whichever players you want who are gonna double in game week 33, and then just use your free in game week 34 against Ipswich at home. Now, the players to target for these teams are not a secret. We were talking about them for a long period of time. Now we have the fixtures confirmed for gaming 32 and 33. From Newcastle, the best players at the moment are Isaac, Murphy, Born and Livramento. I think now Gordon would be a great option if you're not tripled up on Newcastle. I think that Gordon could be a great option for gaming 33 only because we don't know. He wasn't in the squad this gaming in gaming 31, so we don't know when he's gonna be fit. I wouldn't buy Gordon. That's why he has a question mark there. I wouldn't buy him for gaming 32, but for gaming 33, if you have a spare transfer, if you have just two players from Newcastle, I think that he could be a great option. Now, at the moment, Isaac Murphy and one of Livramento and Bernard, I think that they are the best triple up from Newcastle. Murphy is playing on the right wing. He doesn't have so much competition. For example, like Gordon, who is sharing the minutes with Harvey Barnes on the left wing. Now, Isak, obviously, there's a big question mark with him also, but we're gonna find out tomorrow if he's gonna play against Leicester. If not, hopefully, he's gonna be available for game uh, 30 two for the double. Now, again, I wouldn't go for someone like Trippier. He has some other injuries, injury doubts. Also, he's also so expensive, and I wouldn't go for Pope if you don't have him already in your team, obviously. Now, from Crystal Palace, it's a little bit simpler because I think that there aren't many players you need to target. Now, Guehi is banned, he got a red card. So you should go 100% with Mateta, that's for sure. My preferred triple up from Crystal Palace would be Mateta, Eze, and Sar. Sorry, not Sar, Munoz. Now, I really think that you can go just with Mateta as and Sar without Munoz. I don't think that Crystal Palace are gonna keep so many clean sheets in the next fixtures, but the thing is, Munoz is a really attacking defender. Crystal Palace this game he conceded, he scored a goal. Now the bad part is that this year in FPL, when a defender scores a goal, he's not so likely to get bonus points because they changed the system a little bit. So as long as the defender loses that clean sheet, they are kind of not gonna keep bonus points. So that's the downside of Munoz. But yeah, I think that between Eze and Sar, if you're undecided, I think that at the moment Eze is the best option if you have the funds to buy him. I said it before. I think that he's a much complete player as although Sar had the better statistics in the last game weeks, we saw now that Sar blanked in the last two game weeks. I think that Eze is the pick to go if you're undecided between them. Now with Henderson, I wouldn't go there. Just if he really is the player to go for your cheap strategy, because I think that from these four you just need to pick three. Now the captain order, and also for those people who have the triple captain chip available, like myself, I'm planning to use my triple captain on Isak in Gaming 32, but firstly, let's see if he's gonna be available. If you want to use your triple captain or just your captain chip, I think that the best options in Gaming 32 are gonna be Isak, Mateta, and Eze in that order. Honestly, I wouldn't go for any other players for that discussion. I wouldn't captain someone like Murphy or Gordon because they have some doubts about them. Now, obviously, you could just captain a single gaming player. You could captain Palmer against Ipswich at home, and obviously, we know that Palmer could outscore a double gaming player. But yeah, if you want to captain a double gaming player, I think that this is the order. And yeah, now let's move to the other two teams who are gonna have some doubles in Gaming 33. Now, here next, we're gonna talk a little bit about Manchester City and Arsenal, and here is where the discussion becomes a little bit more complicated because with the Newcastle and Crystal Palace players, we know we talked a lot about them in the last game weeks. We know which players to get. Now, from Manchester City and Arsenal, the things are a little bit more difficult. Now we saw the rotation for Arsenal in Game Week 31. I mean, we knew that Saka was never going to play 90 minutes in Game Week 31, but honestly, I was more likely 60%, let's say, that he was to start. But they are going to play against Real Madrid, two legs in the UEFA Champions League, and Arteta decided to rotate the lineup. Even someone like Timber was on the bench, Odegaard. So yeah, they are. We saw now that they are not immune to rotation. It looks like Arteta is preferring to put his plans in the Champions League rather than the Championship, the Premier League, because it looks like Liverpool are gonna go away with it. Although Liverpool just lost to Fulham today, but yeah, we need to see. It's clear to me that in Game Week 32, Arsenal players are rotation risks, and we need to uh, be careful which players we're gonna buy from Arsenal, because I think that everyone is gonna uh, want to have Bukayo Saka in their teams in Game Week 33. As you can see, the double is amazing. Ipswich away and Crystal Palace at home. From my perspective, I think that at the moment Saka is the best captain in Game Week 33 alongside someone like Marmoush, let's say. But till that, they are going to play against Brentford at home, and after that game, they are going to play the second leg against Real Madrid. So I think that it's going to be some rotation. So be careful if you want to. I would advise you. Now I have Gabriel in my team also, and I need to sell him at some point, but I'm trying to delay that transfer till game week 33 because we're not sure which players are going to play in 32 against Brentford at home. Don't get me wrong, that's a great fixture. The fixtures are pretty good from Arsenal till game week 35 and beyond, but that's the thing. I think that if you have someone like Raya, he's pretty much safe to play in game week 32. Maybe someone like Saliba, but there are some risks. At the moment, my preferred trio from Arsenal is Saka, Saliba, Raya. As I said before, I slightly prefer um, having double Arsenal defense. I know that maybe it sounds a little bit funny because they conceded in the last two games. Maybe they were a little bit unlucky against Everton. They conceded from a penalty, which was never going to be a penalty. So, referee mistake. In the game against Fulham, they conceded in the last minute. So maybe a little bit unlucky. I still think that if you want three players from Arsenal, still double Arsenal defense is the way to go, and just go with Bukayo Saka. Now, obviously, you could go with someone like Merino, but uh, as we said, as we saw before, he didn't play as a number 9 all the game. We don't know if he's gonna play as a number 9 for Arsenal for all the games, but he's a nice punt. Obviously, he's really cheap. I don't mind it if you wanna go for him. Now with Timber, he was rested. We need to see. if he's gonna start in gaming 32. But I think that if you don't have the cash to go for someone like Saliba, I think that Saliba is the best option if you wanna buy someone instead of Gabriel. But if you don't have the cash, I think that Timber is next in line. Now, Kivior also started. We don't know exactly if he's gonna play all the games. We need to see more from Arsenal. Now, sadly, the double gaming 33 it's approaching really fast, and we're not gonna be able to get as much information as we want, maybe. But yeah, there are obviously other options if you really want to go for some punts like Martinelli, Trossard in attack. But I just wouldn't go there. I really want to go safe, especially if you want to use your bench boost in gaming 33. You really want to have those players have the best chances to play 2 games and as close to 90 minutes as possible. That's my opinion here. Now, if we go to City, the fixtures are great. They didn't play amazingly against Manchester United, to be honest with you, um, today. But yeah, Crystal Palace at home, Everton and Aston Villa in double gaming 33. As I said before, Marmoush could be a great captaincy option also, but at the moment I slightly prefer Bukayo Saka if he's gonna get into match fitness and if we're gonna see uh, him playing really well against Real Madrid. Maybe after that leg, they shouldn't have any problems in playing Saka in double gaming 33. Now we need to see against Ipswich if they are gonna give him 90 minutes. Probably not, but yeah, these teams are gonna blank in gaming 34. And after that, City is gonna play against Wolverhampton at home. So the fixtures for Manchester City are pretty great after the gaming 34 also. Now the two players who are locked in for me and they are in my team also, Marmoush, Guardiol. I think that you should go there. Now Haaland is out, probably maybe for the rest of the season, maybe till gaming 36 or 37, but Marmoush is pretty much guaranteed to start, if we can say that about Man City players. Now the same story, we don't know about Manchester City, but with Marmoush and Guardiol, pretty much they are playing all the games, and I think that they are the best options from Manchester City. So yeah, I don't really like Manchester City defense or something like that, but I want to have 3 players from Manchester City, and Guardiol is the best defender to own from Manchester City. And after that, if you really want to go safe, I think that Ederson could be a nice option. Although last season um, he wasn't immune to rotation either. Now, after that, I have Savinho in my team. Foden was benched last game week, sorry, and he didn't play any minutes. Now the same happened to Savinho. You're just never gonna guess what's gonna happen. If they're gonna play Kevin De Bruyne in the future, Doku, Grealish, they have a lot of midfielders there. Bernardo Silva could play there. So yeah, Foden also came off with a little injury, I think. So we need to see what's the problem with Foden, and if the injury is not uh, is a little bit bad, then obviously Savinho could become a little bit better as an option. But yeah, I think that at the moment, if you want to pick one of those, I would go for Savinho slightly. I know that he didn't play in this game week uh, any minutes, but still, I don't know if we're gonna get a midfielder from Manchester City who's gonna play 90 minutes both games in that double gaming 33. Honestly, I don't think that we're gonna get that. So as long as Savinho is gonna start one game in the double and get 30-40 minutes in the other one, I think that's okay. Also, he's a lot more cheaper than someone like Foden, so at the moment he is my pick. But the thing is with Manchester City, these things are can change really quickly. So let's see what's gonna happen against Crystal Palace at home, and then we're gonna assess. But after those players, I wouldn't really go for someone like Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, Doku. They didn't really impress me at the moment, and also they are also rotation risks. So yeah, let's see the other 2 teams who I picked on the watch list. Okay, so next we're gonna take a look at Aston Villa and Brighton. Now, you could include here a team like Nottingham Forest, but I didn't have the space to do that. But as you can see, it really depends. A lot of people are gonna use their bench boost in the next gamings. That's for sure. It really depends if you're gonna use it in gaming 32 or 33. because I picked Brighton here just because they have a really nice fixture against Leicester at home for Gaming 32. Now the fixtures long term also are decent for Brighton, but I don't think that they are necessarily a team we should be um going really fast of buying players for them. But yeah, for the bench boost 32, if you don't have your bench players set up already, then you could go for someone like some players from Brighton. Now, obviously, Joao Pedro was benched, so I really hope that he could become an option now that Ruther and also they have some injury problems in midfield, Brighton. But he was benched, so even Joao Pedro is not a guaranteed starter against Leicester at home in Gaming 32. Now, if I was to predict, I think that Joao Pedro is gonna start this game, but you never know, and maybe you don't want to take any risk on your bench boost. Other players who are pretty much safe to play are someone like Dunk and Verbruggen if you really need a goalkeeper or a cheap defender. Then João Pedro, Mitoma, Estupinian, Welbeck, depending on how much money you want to spend and if you want to spend a transfer for Gaming 32, I think that these are some nice funds to pick. And if you're talking about bench boost 32, you could also take a look at some players from Nottingham Forest like Milenkovic and Nico Williams, especially he's really cheap and he played really good in the last game, he got an assist. So these are pretty much the players you want to look if you're bench boosting 32. Now, I didn't really talk about the players for bench boost 33, but Aston Villa, we know that they are the last team to double in gaming 33, and the same as Arsenal, it's a really difficult prediction to make. Maybe Aston Villa even difficult than Arsenal. They have a really nice fixture, as you can see, against Southampton away. So I would love to have a lot of players from Aston Villa for this fixture, but sadly, I just don't think that's a good strategy. I obviously, if you can bench them, that's okay because you want them for gaming 33. But there's gonna be a big rotation for Aston Villa. I think we saw that this weekend. A lot of their players were on the bench. Now Rogers played pretty much. I know that maybe he's the boring pick. He did amazing in the last two gamings. Don't get me wrong, and I still think that if you want to go for a player from Aston Villa, Rogers is the best one at the moment. He's also the cheaper midfielder from Aston Villa. I really like someone like I would love to have someone like Asensio or Rashford, but I just don't think that at the moment is the right time to bring them in. As you can see, so the same for Aston Villa. They're gonna play against PSG in the Champions League, so that's gonna be some rotation in that game. Now the players who are maybe safe for from rotation are Martinez, although I can't really guarantee that. Maybe someone like Rogers, but I just think that personally he played in Gaming 31. I think that he's gonna be maybe rotated against Southampton. Southampton are relegated already, so they don't have anything left to play this year. I think that in this game Rogers could be rotated, and maybe Emery is gonna give minutes to the other players. Now, yeah, even Konsa got benched in the last game week. He came in the second half, I think. So nobody is immune to rotation. If you want to bring a player for gaming 32, yeah, I think that Martinez and Rogers, if you don't have them already, are good picks, especially for double gaming 33. I don't know if Rogers is gonna start in gaming 32. As I said before, I wouldn't I wouldn't buy any players honestly for from Aston Villa like Asensio, Rashford, or Watkins in gaming 32. I just don't think that Watkins is gonna start this gaming. Maybe in gaming 33 we need to take a look at how things are gonna change. If Watkins is still gonna have some injury problems, then I'm not gonna go to buy him in gaming 33. But yeah, at the moment, I still suggest you try to hold your transfers and reassess in gaming 33 because yeah, it's gonna be some big rotation from Aston Villa and Arsenal, especially because they have some important games to play in the UEFA Champions League. Now, if you've been here this long, thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, if you enjoy this type of content and if you want to see more, of this on this channel, please consider leaving a like, subscribe to this channel if you're new, and yeah, thanks again. I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.